Good morning. We're trying to
As you notice, we're orange
yeah,
today.
yeah, well, we'll see how it all plays
We're
out. But
still
yeah,
in the midst of changing all
we're
of our equipment around.
yeah, we're still trying to work around our technical problems, so sorry about that. We'll see how today's broadcast goes. But like we said yesterday, we're just going to continue to push forward.
Yep.
But anyway,
Anyway,
good morning. My name is Javi. This is my wife,
I'm
Jessica.
Jessica.
Just in case you forgot what your name was. On this show, we discuss topics that we all have to face so we can build our faith, develop our character, and take action towards the life that we really want to live.
Yeah, and while you're watching this broadcast, just make sure we want to see your name when you're commenting. And normally that's not an issue, but if you are watching from our private Facebook support group, make sure that you're clicking that StreamYard link right there. StreamYard is the software that we use to broadcast, and because it's a private group, it blocks your name when you're commenting. So if you could just click on that real quick, I know it's every time, but if you do that, it just basically connects your name, and then we can see your comments and bring your comments up on screen if it's something that we feel like would benefit everybody, or if it's a question that you have. We want to make sure to bring that up with your face and not just a blank user.
Yeah, they don't have to do that if they're watching on YouTube.
No, if you're watching from anywhere else, it doesn't make any difference. Your comments come right through because it's not private. Anyway, and there's a YouVersion Bible app link that you need to be aware of, because that's going to take you directly to the study that we're using for this series. And you can follow along on the app. So without further ado, this is a 10-part series that we are doing. And we're on part 7. So this was encompasses 2 weeks that we're doing. And this has been really, really good, because this has been, it's kind of the foundation. I mean, if you're looking for peace, it's like, isn't that the first thing we're all looking for? Especially when we're dealing with health challenges, when it's something that is kind of taking over our life. I talked about that yesterday. When it's taking over everything and all your time and all your energy, and your focus, and everything's just like, oh, we've got to deal with this health thing, sort of puts it right to the top of the priority list, and everything else just kind of falls by the wayside. So if you can find peace in that, you can start to rebuild some of the other routines, and you can start to deal with other things besides just that, and kind of get some ground under you. Okay. Get your feet under you. So that's what we're really doing here, is helping you figure out how you're going to get that peace, who you get that peace from, where to find it. And just sort of also this study is amazing, because it really takes the time to break down all the things that steal our peace away, and where, how to refill your peace, how to get your joy back, and things like that. So it's been really, really good. Um, Speaking of peace, did you sleep last night?
No,
No.
I was just thinking, on this segment, we want to um really show you guys things that are happening that are good, or things that are inspiring, things like that. And just to kind of take us off of what might be going on around us and cheer
Mhm.
us up a little bit, kind of break the mood. And this is our new format. We're trying new things and everything. As soon as we start doing that, we start running into problems.
Yeah.
So I guess,
So pray for our new show
so
that it like continues
if it
going in the
ain't
new
broke,
direction.
don't fix it.
Yeah.
Maybe we should listen. But anyway, um, but it's really absorbed, right? A lot of our time, a lot of these issues
These
have,
technical issues.
yeah, it's distracted us and everything else like that.
Mhm.
But again, we're just trying to continue to push forward, and you normally would have had something ready.
Well, what's interesting to me, I know we keep talking about
By the way, I didn't, because I have to use my phone right now
as our
as our
camera.
camera, and I forgot to shut off my notifications. So yeah, you might see some notifications because I'm
I
not gonna.
didn't even realize that.
Yeah,
So what I was gonna say is that's funny. That should be fun.
yeah.
You're
Nobody call me
you're
right
just
now.
gonna see fantasy football. Anyway, so um The thing is that this always happens. I know we're talking a lot about our technical issues, but here's the thing is that when anytime we do a series, it seems like it's like we choose these ahead of time and we don't read ahead and think, and God always lines these up with whatever's going to go on with us. So he's
It's
like,
really
look,
seriously.
he's like, you got to find some peace in all of this. You got to find peace with me when everything is just sort of like chaos, when you're,
Mhm.
and that this is what we noticed yesterday is that we were like, okay, we started having discussions about gratitude, what we're grateful for, what we're thankful for, what things are working, what things are moving forward, what isn't frustrating and stressful today, and it's like we went through a tremendous amount of health issues with our daughter for the longest time. And praise God, she has had no issues for a few months. And it's
Yeah.
like, man, but how soon you forget the contrast. All of a sudden, yesterday, we were like, wait a minute, this could be a lot worse. We could be still dealing with all of those issues and never sleeping and, up all night and worried and wondering
Yeah.
what's going
Those are
on.
some tough months. I mean, that was 9 months.
9 months, and that was
Yeah.
just one bout with her issues,
Right.
because we had plenty before that. So that's the thing, though, is that finding peace isn't just feeling content; it's gratitude.
Mhm.
So today,
So
though,
you know what? With all that said, I think that series that we wanted to do on patience. Why don't we just take that off the docket? Because
like, let's not do a series on patience, because if we
let's kind of
do,
avoid it. Can we do
it's
that?
probably going to happen on a week where we have to have a series on
I'm
patience.
just playing.
So but you know what, though, that could be any week.
Right?
Like any week in life, you're like, oh, I've got to have a serious amount of patience. Well,
Okay.
today we're talking about giving up anxiety. So, speaking of anxiety over all the things we're dealing with this week, that's a really, really good segue into what we're doing today. Okay, so I'm going to bring this up. If you guys are ready.
Ready.
Ready? Giving up anxiety. Okay, so anxiety is a problem we all deal with at one time or another. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus said, therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, nor about your body or what you will put on. Is not life more than food and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not more value than they? Matthew 6:25-26. The Greek word for anxious in this passage means distracted. Oh, that's a good one. It's a word that refers to uncertainty. That's what anxiety produces in us. It gives us a feeling of what's next. It's a feeling that the rug has been pulled out from underneath us, and we have no idea if we're going to fall, how hard, in what direction, or onto what. The word anxious is also translated as worry in the Bible. For many people, worry has become a way of life. If that describes you, I encourage you to read again the words of Jesus. His words are not a suggestion, they are a command. You may say, I can't help feeling anxious. I've always been a worrier. I heard that from many people throughout the years, and my response is, yes, you can. There's nothing about a circumstance that automatically creates anxiety. Anxiety occurs because the way we respond to a problem or troubling situation. Your ability to choose is part of God's gift of free will to every human being. You can choose how to feel. You can choose what you think about, and you can choose how you will respond to a circumstance. It certainly isn't God's purpose for you to feel anxious. He doesn't allow situations in your life so that you'll have anxiety. The Father may allow a situation in your life to develop stronger faith, grow and mature, or change a bad habit or negative attitude. But God doesn't set you up for anxiety. He's always at work in bringing you to a place where you'll trust him more, obey him more fully, and receive more of his blessings. You can fall into a downward spiral of anxiety, or you can say, Father, I bring this to you. It's beyond my control. I feel helpless in this situation, but you have the power to change what I am facing. You love me perfectly, and I am trusting you to handle what concerns me in the way that you see it. Oh, excuse me. What concerns me in the way you see fit. I know whatever you've planned for me is for my good. I look forward to seeing the way you choose to express your love, wisdom, and power. So, friend, this is the way of peace, the road out of anxiety and worry. And here's the verses that go with this today. Matthew 6:25-26. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not life more than meat, and the body more than raiment? Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? 2 Timothy 1:7 says, For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
So is that the King James?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I believe so.
Sounds like it.
But
Go ahead.
but no, I think that's really funny that, we're look, if you're new to us, you haven't been with us for this last year while we've been doing this, you we're just open and honest with you guys, and we try to be as transparent as possible. When we go through things, we're going alongside you and going through
Yeah.
those trials alongside you, because we all have we all go through certain trials, and all have our growth periods with God, and we have our victories, we have our losses. uh, and and a lot of times we come on this broadcast, we tell you what's going on. We don't read ahead
Yeah, we
on
never
these
read ahead in
on the
these. We just read the titles and that's all.
and a lot of times we'll say something, and then God addresses it
Mhm.
almost spot on,
Immediately. Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
or like you said, you know, we're going through a series and we're actually walking out
Yep.
everything and have to really practice it. Because wouldn't it be easy for us to just read something to you guys, something encouraging, but not practice it ourselves?
Right.
And, we have made a real concerted effort to really help people and put God's word a- uh, uh, out there, and just help one another, help
Mhm.
people out there, including us, to really stay focused on what God has to say in our day to day lives. And it's like God just ensures that we practice what we
Yeah,
preach,
that we're
right?
being an example. He's like, "Well, guess what? You're going to go through this week." So,
Right.
I love this give up anxiety because and that it's a choice. It's true. We can choose how we respond to things. And sometimes I think we respond in fear, and sometimes we respond in fatigue. Sometimes we're just
Hmm.
tired
Oh yeah.
and we're just like we're not afraid of anything. We aren't worried. We're just exhausted.
Well,
And so
yeah.
we're just like mad
Eh,
because we're just so tired. Yeah. When things, especially like when things like what we've been going through this week happen, it's like everything's just upside down and you're just trying to make it work and figure it out. And you're thinking, man, could we just move on?
and I think we it's a, I'm not going to say it's okay to be anxious, okay? But we all do it. And we find ourselves being anxious about maybe something that's going on. We certainly have been. And uh I don't want I don't want to come across and make you feel like you should be shameful for feeling that way. I think
Right.
that's
No.
a normal reaction to
Hmm.
something that is unexpected, or something that uh, is kind of chaotic in the moment. We get anxious,
Yeah.
but the thing is once we realize that our stress is going up and we're becoming very anxious and tired and worn down, that's when we need to take a breath, and we need to slow down and give it to God. Step back from the situation and really give it to God. And
Hmm.
I've been we've both been neck deep into these issues, and researching and trying to figure out this could
Yeah.
be, what's going on.
Oh my
and
gosh. Yeah.
and so we're intent. I mean, our we're it's very intense, I should say. And our anxiety's up and maybe we're short with one another, and we're kind of getting it's affecting my mood. Those emotions
Mhm.
are now affecting me, therefore it's going to affect me physically. But sometimes we're so deep into it, we don't want to we don't want to listen to anybody. We don't want to even think about stepping back and giving it to God. But the thing is, that's really that's the enemy not wanting you to give it up,
Yeah.
not wanting you to take a breath and give it to God. And because he still wants you to go down that rabbit hole. And boy, have we been down
A
rabbit hole
rabbit
this,
hole.
right?
Yeah. Well, and I love what it says about how what anxious means in the Bible. So, the Greek word for anxious in that passage is distracted, which creates uncertainty.
And that's exactly
Oh my
the
gosh.
the tool of the enemy.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could be anything. I mean, we talked you think about the word distracted, creating anxiety. We think distracted a lot of times means just like, like, oh, squirrel, like, or oh, I'm just distracted by, distractions, like the kids yelling or TV or my phone or whatever. But there's bigger distractions. I mean, like this whole thing this week of us having to deal with technical difficulties and having to rearrange all our equipment and troubleshoot everything and reboot everything 30 times and you know change our internet plan and like all of the things that we've had to do this week. And really like we've had to order stuff, ship stuff back, order stuff, ship stuff back. So it's one of those things where um you go through all that. That is a giant distraction from your normal activities. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that doesn't just create anxiety because it's stressful or it's um distracting, but it creates more anxiety usually because it's taking you away from the things that fill you up. It's taking you away from your workouts, or it's taking you away from meal prep, or it's taking you away from your morning routine or meditation or whatever, your prayer time. It's something that you're like, no, I have to put this fire out now. So you not only are being filled with anxiety over just the energy you have to spend on it, but then you're not filling back up either. You're not sleeping, or you're not
Mhm.
getting refilled. And so it takes you away from, God, it takes you away from everything because you're just so focused on functioning through that. That happens with our health a lot. So anytime we have been going through something new with our health, like one of our family members, like if it's our daughter or if it's him, or even, like I've even had issues. I don't usually have all of the health issues in the house, but I've had my own, and it turns the house upside down. I mean, all of a sudden we're on hospital mode, we call it, because now we're okay. We've got our stuff packed. We're at the hospital. Okay, we're on a hospital schedule. Okay, who's at the hospital? Now with COVID, it's like no, nobody. But we got to go back and forth, and we've got to figure out what's going on with the house and what are we doing to eat. And I'm working out. I mean, like it's like it just totally throws your life upside down. And then where are you finding peace? Because it's like a giant distraction from your normalcy. And that creates even more anxiety because you're not filling back up. So I just wanted to point that out because I love that it says that the Greek word means distracted,
Mhm.
because these are the things, and the enemy really loves that because he's like, this is an easy way just to throw you off of everything that
Well,
you're doing.
well, you know, let's. I'll be very honest here. So this last Sunday, obviously we go to church so we can worship God, so we can uh, gather together in
Mhm,
worship and praise to God and learn
mhm,
what God is really has for us. And it's great being back in church and being around people again, and I love that. However, eh, we go to church sometimes for refuge, and we were in the midst of all this stuff, and
yeah.
uh, I really needed that. But you know what? I got there, and the church service started, and I'm still thinking about home.
Mhm.
I'm still thinking about my problem. I'm still thinking about how I'm going to have to
Fix it.
read this blog and figure out what did that other blog say, and when I what did that YouTube video suggest? Oh, I got to try that, and then I got to do this, and I got to do this, and I got to do that. A lot of eyes in there, right? I
Mhm.
got to do that. I got to do that. And I realized like halfway through, what am I doing? I'm in the house of God. And
Trying to worship.
I'm trying to think of how I'm going to fix this problem rather than giving it to God and how he's going to fix it.
Mhm.
How he's going to give me the wisdom and the eyes to see through my problem. And once I realized that I was being distracted and I wasn't present.
Yeah.
And that's what really disturbed me most. Is that, man, how dare you rob me of that? And so I had to, and I'll be honest, it was hard. I had to put that down,
Yeah.
and then I just started to pray. Lord, give me your sight. Give me your wisdom. Help
Mhm.
me to see this situation through your eyes and help me to not be distracted by all this junk because really it's it's nothing
Right.
compared to what you have for me, the things that you have for me,
To the glory that
and the
is going
glory,
to for
and
God is
yeah,
going
and
to
his
come.
glory,
Yeah.
right?
This is
It's
just a
it's
distraction.
it's just a distraction.
Yep. And here's the other thing that it says it means, anxiety or anxiousness. Like it means to worry. And we all know worrying isn't from God. Worry is a useless thing. It's just fear. I mean, it's just the unknown. And we're really, really bad at that as human beings. We're bad at the unknown. It's like the worst, right? I always say, especially with health issues, I'm always like, hey, I can deal with anything if I know what it is I'm dealing with. I mean, that's a tall order, but it's way easier to deal with stuff once you know what you're dealing with than when you have no idea. And, you know, whether you know what's going on or not, it has to become your practice to give it to God. It has to become, God, you know what's going on, though. You know what's coming. You know what this is going to look like at the end of the day. And then that means you should be handling it because I don't have any idea what this looks like at the end of the day. I don't have any idea, the conversations that are going on that I can't hear. I don't have any idea what intricacies are going on inside whoever's sick's body is, whoever it is that is dealing with this, their body. Like I can't see that, God, you can. And so that should be the conversation instead of being worried. Worry doesn't create anything except for anxiety and fear and distance between you and God. I mean, it doesn't fix it. Worrying doesn't create any healing or peace. It just destroys, and that's the enemy's tools. So worrying is also I think worry feeds on itself. You know, you get worried about something, and then now you're worried about worrying. I mean, think about it. How many people have come to us and said, how do you not worry? I'm so worried about how much I'm worrying. I'm like, whoa, okay. So you're layering on reasons to worry. You're worried about worrying now. You're worried about and then it's like inception. Like you start to get worried about worrying. And then you're worried about other people who are worrying. And then you're worried about how they feel about how you're
So
worrying.
how many layers of worry are you going to dig into,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
it's a spiral. It gets out of control, and then that's when worry becomes real anxiety.
Yeah, because you can't find your way out of it.
Yes, exactly. Now you're trapped, and you're like, I don't know which way to go. Now I'm in a house of mirrors because
Mhm.
everything looks like worry.
Right, right. I used to have as a child, and the reason why I remember this because it happened several times, but as I as a child, I used to have this reoccurring dream that I was riding my bicycle
Mhm.
because back then I you could just
Ride wherever.
ride wherever, right?
Yeah.
And but I was riding down this unfamiliar street,
Mhm.
and there were several. It was like okay, it was an intersection, but it was uh, a part of this road that led me to these four different roads. and I needed to find my way back, right? So, and for whatever reason, going backwards wasn't an option. So I had to take one of these roads. So I take one road that led me to another section like this. Okay, well,
Oh
then
no.
I go here, and then I went there, and then I realized, okay, maybe I need to backtrack. And then when I backtracked, when I looked behind me, it was the same situation. In order to find my way back, I would have had to take the exact same road. But I was so far deep when I realized that
Yeah.
I couldn't find my way home.
Right.
Right. And I think a lot of times that exactly what you're saying,
Mhm.
we find ourselves when we start layering and going further and further down this rabbit trail, rather than asking God for his guidance, rather than having him give us the direction, we try to take control.
Blindly.
Yeah, right. And we start to take steps and actions that lead us further and further down. Pretty soon we don't even know our way out.
How'd you find your way home?
I woke up.
So if you're out there and you have anxiety, wake up.
Wake up. Pinch yourself.
No, but you know what though? That's actually great because really what we're saying is open you need to have the God's eyes. You need to wake up. You need to see things the way God sees them and ask him to show you that. And that's waking up.
Mhm.
That's not seeing things through our clouded, you know, limited, blinded vision. It's just like you can see clearly. So I love that. No, this has been really good. I think that anxiety was necessary to bring up in this topic. I like that it had anxiety included in this study because anxiety is there's so many things to anxiety. I mean, obviously, people have real anxiety attacks. They have real anxiety issues, and obviously, you need to go check with your doctor. And there's medications and there's all kinds of things. But generally, just generalizing, we all have some level of anxiety in situations when you're just feeling anxious. Maybe you're not talking about anxiety attacks and dealing with, clinical anxiety, because that's a whole other thing. But we're talking about, just anxiety in general. That is really just a huge tool of the enemy to steal our peace and steal our mission. I mean, his ultimate goal is to so that even if we are already, you know, children of God and well, we're all children of God, but like if we're already saved, if we're already God's got us and we're God's and he has not won over our soul, then he doesn't want us to help anyone else do that. He doesn't want us to be on the mission of doing God's work and helping others find this peace. So he wants to distract us from like, hey, you can't do your work. You can't, hey, don't look. And is and that's where we get really caught up in, oh, I've got fires to put out. I got fire. He's busy just setting fires in front of you so that you can't focus on what God's calling you to do.
Or you know, maybe it's the things God, not only what God's trying to do in your life, but what God wants you to see in
Yeah.
your
The
life.
answers he wants you to see.
And the beauty that he's put in your life. Yesterday we kind of opened with this. We're distracted with all this stuff, and we had to leave yesterday to run an errand, and it just hit me. I looked at the my car, and as I pulled away from my house, I looked at my house. My kids are laughing and playing in the back seat. And I just in that moment, it overwhelmed me how grateful I am
Mhm.
for all the blessings he's put upon us. I have a running vehicle.
Mm.
I have a nice house. I have a roof over my head.
Mhm.
My kids are fed. They're happy
Yeah. They're healthy.
and healthy.
Yeah.
And we aren't running to the hospital for
Yep.
the umpteenth time.
Yep.
Okay. And in that moment, I'm very grateful. And these distractions, the anxiety that's put upon us, doesn't want us to realize that.
Yeah.
It doesn't want us to be grateful, doesn't want us to see the blessings that God has actually poured out upon us. He doesn't want us to hear and enjoy the kids playing in the background. What do
Right.
we do? We yell at them.
We're like, it's so
Be
loud.
quiet. I'm trying to concentrate.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Rather than enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's really, really important because for me yesterday, that really came to a head. I really had to take a second, realize, wait a second, what's really going on here? It really helped me change my day. My day was still filled with a lot of things, but hey, we got through it.
Oh yeah. And we figured out a lot of this. I think we're in the home stretch here of getting
We
all
were
this
able
worked
to
out.
figure things out rather than
Yeah.
getting
And that's
caught
the other
up.
thing. When you give it to God and you look for, and you start um moving in gratitude, you start operating in gratitude, you do start to see things more clearly and you can figure things out. You can get answers. You can, you just see clearly and get that wisdom in front of you instead of all the distractions and the chaos and the anxiety.
Mhm.
And so it really does create not only just peace, but answers and forward momentum and things like that.
Right.
And you find
Exactly.
your way out.
Right. So, hey, I hope that makes sense to you guys. I hope this was a blessing. I know that we went a little early today.
Yeah.
We had to go early because we have a busy schedule
I have
today.
another meeting today.
So,
So
so sorry about that, but we did go early. I'm hoping you guys do watch this in full on replay. And if you did, I just thank you so much. And mostly, I hope you receive something from God. That something that was said today, that his Holy Spirit spoke directly to your situation. That's my prayer every day.
Mhm.
So if you enjoyed today's broadcast, please hit like and share this with your friends and family. If you have someone that really is going through it today,
Yeah.
had been going through it for a while, share this broadcast with them. Invite them to this broadcast. We would really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And hey, look, guys, this week we have the September 6th 21-day challenge starting here soon. So it's this week we're enrolling everybody into that. So if you have been looking for a health challenge, if you've been looking for something to get unstuck in your health, you want to move forward your nutrition, your fitness, your mindset, and you just want some accountability and some people that walk alongside you and really give you the tools that you need to get over that hump, to get back into the swing of things, okay? And get out of that rut. That's what we are here for. We're here to do that with you. So make sure that you jump over to www.eliteninjaacademy.com/21-day challenge. This is a 3-week challenge. If you stick with this, you will see amazing results. Our August challenge went so well. We're super excited for the new things we're going to incorporate in the September challenge. This is $97 for 21 days. And actually, we have a special offer. If you're a couple and you want to do this together, it's 2 for 1. So if you guys want to do this together, we're just charging you for one of those, and you guys can do it together. So that's something we wanted to offer all the couples out there that like to sign up for things together, because that's what we do too. But anyway, this is something that we're enrolling. It is September 6th through the 26th. Also, if you want to support our show, if you want to sponsor this show or our podcast or any of the other things that we're doing, make sure you jump over to javieandjessicamadrigal.com and you can choose any sponsorship level that fits your budget. Or you can just give a one-time gift, whatever you would like to do, whatever is on your heart. We absolutely appreciate anything that you're doing to support our broadcast, to support our mission, and helping people get healthy overall so that they can live the lives that they truly want to live. So guys, we absolutely thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you for showing up for this. And we hope you have an amazing day.
Have a great day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.